Equalizer 2. So Equalizer 2 follows again Denzel Washington's character Robert McCall. He continues to save the small people of his neighborhood, performing little duties here and there as a Lyft driver. All that sort of comes to a halt though when a personal friend of his from back in the day gets murdered. It's up to Robert McCall to find out who this was and make sure they pay for what they did. And that's all pretty much said without giving any spoilers to you guys. This is a spoiler-free review. I'm just going to tell you what I liked about the film, what I didn't like, hit you with a rating system just like this one, breaking down the elements of the film and giving you a final ranking. So with Equalizer 2, I wasn't really expecting a sequel. I enjoyed that film for what it was. It seemed like Denzel's Washington version of Taken. Simple little movie and I didn't give much thought to it, but then when I heard the second one was coming around, I got to see the trailer for it. It interested me just a bit. I liked the way the trailer set it up. I liked the stories behind it. He just saves the little guys in the neighborhood. So I had semi-interest into the second film. Unfortunately, even with semi-interest, it wasn't enough to keep me going. Let me go into some of the positives for Equalizer 2. For one, Denzel Washington. Now, we all know he's a great actor, Academy Award-winning actor. And it's very apparent on screen that he enjoys playing this character. He's charming, he's funny, he likes being the old guy, wisecracking, lecturing, preaching. It's a role I think he really enjoys and wants to just keep coming back to it. And even with him being a bit older, he can definitely kick ass and make it look extremely believable. The thing I did enjoy about the first one is the small scale of it. The fact that it's just a neighborhood crime. It's something the police can't really handle, and even if they were to handle it, it would take a long time, paperwork, process. Nah, throw in Denzel Washington, breaking necks, snapping bones, that's a good time. And in this film, there's bits of that. A whole chunk of the beginning of the film is just him being a Lyft driver, solving crime after crime, helping person after person. Honestly, I want a separate movie with Denzel Washington called The Lyft Driver Chronicles. Action in this film is also really well done. I like it. It has just the right amount of blood. I like the snapping, the intensity, the aggression in it. It's not Quentin Tarantino level, it's not buckets of blood gore fest, but it's enough to earn that R rating and make you go, oh, that must have hurt. I know I went like that. And sadly, that's just where the positives end for me, because Equalizer 2, fortunately, is just a very messy and sloppy-handed sequel. The things I mentioned I liked about the first one is that it's a small-scale story. It's something personal. It's a neighborhood crime fighter. He's got these set of skills. He's got these advantages, and he could take down a bunch of thugs. And that's why I also wasn't expecting a sequel, because that could only go so far. And in this film, they try to elevate that with adding this background story to a newer height, that is, he has to find out the people who are trying to murder him and his old crew, and it calls us from travel to country. We're no longer in the neighborhood. But at the same time, like I said, the movie does take the first 40 to 45 minutes of him doing nothing but solving little neighborhood crime, helping women who've been beaten, helping a mother find her daughter. The thing is, that story is told in and out from the main story of him trying to solve the mystery of who murdered his old friend and why it's happening and what's being involved in it. And then at the end of the film, it tries to tie it all in together, all loosely, very loosely. To me, honestly, it was just the film trying to elevate itself, tell a more compelling, higher stakes story, but still wanted to touch upon those little neighborhood stories that the past film did well. And it just made it sort of jumble up, sort of messy, and made me think if it didn't have these small little scale stories, it would actually be a very boring drama. And that's not what you're going for. You want to see Denzel kick ass, and when he does it, it's entertaining. But I'm not going to excuse the entertaining and good fight scenes and great acting and charm by Denzel for a sloppy, mishanded story. And I think that's where it's ultimately gonna fail. And I'm gonna say the first one is a lot better, and the second film unfortunately just doesn't live up to what the first film is. And being that I think the first film isn't even all that amazing, I can kind of tell you how I feel about the second one. Alright, so for Equalizer 2, I'm gonna give action 3 stars. Like I said, the action is actually very well done in the movie. The snapping of the bones, the blood, the action that Denzel performs, it's well done. Comedy in the film, I'm gonna give it 2 stars. There's always some nice little cracky jokes here and there from Denzel, or just good comedic timing. Drama in the film, I'm gonna give it 2 stars. The basic story, or the main story they're trying to go for in this film, which is solving the murder that his friend went through, it's just kind of sloppy and not really in tune to the neighborhood crime drama I was expecting. Horror in the film, I'm gonna give it half a star. Like I said, there are blood, there are guts, so be mindful of that. Suspense of the film, I am actually gonna give 2.5 stars. There was one scene in particular involving a secret passage that was really well done and had me at the edge of my seat. Casual fans, I'm gonna give it a B+. Cinephiles, I'm gonna give it a C+. And critically, I'm going to give it a C-. Equalizer 2 can best be enjoyed when rented.
Play the movie. Yeah.
I know, a lot of people are really gonna be upset about that, but that's just my honest feeling on the film, and that sucks because I also gave Skyscraper a positive review. I was expecting Equalizer 2 to be a whole lot better because this is an action film that takes itself seriously, that can actually be serious, but just underperform with a sloppy story. Go ahead and let me know your thoughts about the film if you got around to see it. If I'm completely wrong, go ahead and let me know your thoughts. I'm always happy to discuss, but as always, I'm Chris. Take care.